you have a change of heart, wanna make a brand new start. You've been living on the edge with forever as a pledge. No more giving it up, turning me loose, setting us free. Baby, keeping it real, cause we got what takes for sure. There's no turning back anymore. Can you see it's all a game? Life goes on all the same. If at first you don't succeed, all you've got is all you need. If you believe, then stake your claim.
Hey, Rise and Thrivers. What is going on? It is Monday, October 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to Rise and Thrive Together. Super excited because it is that time of year. It's fall. May not feel like that for us in Florida, but no humidity and a little bit of, you could see I'm wearing a little flannel. I'm wearing flannel in Florida. And I love it. So I'm excited for fall fix-ups. And before we really get into everything, let me tell you about Rise and Thrive Together. We are a vibrant community committed to educate and empower and equip you to get the results that you want through real talk and taking real actions. And hopefully you guys have been following us for a while now. We're sharing with your friends. We've got a Facebook community, Rise and Thrive Together community. We've got our Instagram page, Rise and Thrive Together, and our YouTube channel. So please just share along with your friends and family, because I've got to say, in this fall season, I want to up our people coming on and sharing. So super stoked. Sis, it is October 20th. And I always love having a drum roll that we are at. It's 56. Genevieve says in VA. I wish it was 56, but I'm loving it. I'm feeling it for you. So thanks for, and we are at episode 130.
Wow.
130 episodes on this beautiful day. So super, super stoked to have you. Hey, sis, how are you?
I'm good. My voice is a little deep tonight. Not sure what is going on. However, I am here with my deep, sexy voice, and we're going to get this done.
I love it.
We're going to get this done. So we're all good. All good on this end.
Yes. I know we are allegedly having our guest this evening who's having a little bit of technical difficulties right now. So Raquel might be checking in on that one. But we have spent already the past 2 weeks literally talking about our cleaning, continuing from that clutter to the fall fix up of here about our mindset and what that means for us. And then having that fabulous fun conversation last week with Joseph Manzoni. And for those of you who missed it, I would say that is a replay definitely worth watching, and following us on Instagram and on YouTube and everything else, and on all of our other channels, because the transformational, amazing AI clips, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm going to come close. Look at this makeup. Look at it.
Did you do it yourself?
Myself.
Ooh.
Right? Check out the eyes. Joseph, if you're watching out there, a little bit of white in the corner, a little bit of eyeliner, which, their hair fluffed, easy, nothing but water, a little bit of water, right? A little bit of that good old fashioned Vaseline gel, but it's so soft, and clear lips. Look at this. I'm wearing a flannel shirt and I am loving myself right now.
Oh, I love it.
Right? I don't talk that way. And Genevieve, who's on here, who knows me well, I don't talk like that. But, here she's going at a girl. That's right. Because as simple as a flannel shirt, but doing that hair and a little bit. And I got to tell you that I did this in less than 2 minutes. I had no makeup on.
Wow.
Right? Usual Zumba stuff. So I'm loving stuff. I will be posting more on Instagram and on our Facebook pages, some other great clips. I promised you. Go into the group. I'm going to put the 4-minute video from hair to makeup transformation in there. I did not do that this week, but I promise you I will do it by tomorrow morning. So I am loving what I learned about. That's what I'm going to share with everybody. That's my favorite thing about having the show. I always loved hair. I've always loved makeup, but I never felt I was confident enough to do it the way. Being married to Josh is always like, love simple. And that's what the other part of that you'll see on there, the non, makeup. And I did this tonight because we're on like for me, we're on live. And so very different. Raquel and I have different skin tones. We have different ways of doing
We
things.
do?
So, yes, we do.
Oh.
And so for me, you have this always natural, beautiful glow. Like I love always your eyes and the way you can naturally just come on here, throw your hair, braid it, put on a hat, a little bit of lipstick, and this girl is stunning. And I'm not saying I'm not stunning, but it takes a little bit more of that. And so learning to, go online, I'm like, oh, I like this a little bit better when I'm online. Still casual, but looking good.
Absolutely. I love it. Look at you learning, taking what you've learned and applying it. That
Yes.
should be a common theme for all of us. We should learn stuff and then apply what we've learned. Knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is the acquisition of information. Wisdom is the application.
Ooh.
So there's acquisition. I obtain, I get information. That's knowledge. And the wisdom is the application of that knowledge. Right? And that's what Reg is exhibiting tonight. That's what she's showing us. She's teaching us how to do that. Now, tonight, we were supposed to have a guest, like Reg said. He's having technical difficulties. So when you see me go off screen, that's because I'm trying to communicate with him and still be here with you guys at the same time. And he was going to talk to us about fixing stuff up around our house. Right? So Susan loves your look, Reg.
I know Susan Schaefer, right? Oh my God, wait until you see me in person.
So I've got to ask. I've got to say, why do you say her whole name?
I love her name.
Okay.
It's like, I've been doing that for I've known her for, I don't even know. It's Susan Schaefer. It's just like, it's Susan Schaefer. There's something about, listen guys, names. We can have a whole show on that. There's Susan, right? And Susan is a very popular name. And especially, growing up, it's like, everybody's Susan, right? Susan's going, I know, LOL. She's agreeing with you. Why should she say Susan Schaefer? It just is, for me, it owns that whole piece of who she is. Because if I say Susan, it's like I know I can name like 7 Susans.
Don't right now.
No.
Okay. I was like, don't do that now because we want to talk about your house and fixing it up.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
So he was going, the first thing that Vik, you want to pull up his
let me show you
flyer so that folks can see it.
And he will hopefully get on here. And if not, there's always next week, but there he is.
So that's Vik. Vik is a contractor. He has his own business. I'm going to read a little of his bio, and then I'm going to go find out where he is in the process of joining us.
Yes, go for it.
So Vik is the owner of Louis Carpentry.
Oh, I mean, she got a call through him. And so like that
was formed in 2016. It's a family business that's been active for years. Prior to filing Louis Carpentry Services, there were other business ventures and plenty of jobs working on our homes and eventually working for neighbors and co-workers. Nicola and Vik, who are cousins, were coached by their grandmothers to work with their hands when they were very young. Nick and Vik handled the field work. Anthony, Vik's younger brother, was just a kid, helped with maintenance on family homes at first, and then got involved in future business ventures. He now handles administrative and planning duties. We are committed to providing quality, reasonably priced service. We take it personal because we have helped in the repair and maintenance of family homes before owning our own homes. Super, super awesome. And I know for sure one of the things that Vic wanted to talk about, but before we get to that, I want to ask this question of our audience. For those of you that, I don't care if you live in an apartment or a home, townhome, whatever it is, what's one thing that you, I don't want to say complain, what's one issue that you have in your house that you wish you knew how to do on your own? So, Reg, I'll start with you. What's one thing in your house that you wish you knew how to do on your own?
This is so great because it was the topic that I put out there on our Facebook pages and stuff. The one area you guys have been, if you've been following and listening, is I've been looking to clean out the clutter in my closet, which I've had that opportunity. It's almost done. So the clothes are organized, but there's still a little bit of clutter left. But the closet in our home has a lot of holes, and where there were shelves that are inside of our townhouse, they fell down. Those shelves have been up there. They're wire shelves. I don't know if you guys know what the wire shelves are, and they kind of have these brackets that go into the walls. And when we moved here 12 years ago, I'm amazed how long that they've stayed up. So understanding like the walls and the studs and how to really be able to spackle that wall, fix that up, and be able to put up shelves. It doesn't just have to be wire shelves, but shelves in a way that is going to be sturdy and strong and be able to hold from clothes to other items. It's like really, we don't have much storage in our house at all. It's a closet here, a closet in Lexi's room, and a closet downstairs. 3 closets for our whole entire home. So I'm looking into spackling and understanding walls and studs and how to find, the right way to put up shelves or different, even putting up, pictures, because I know there's the whole conversation around studs in your house and how to do that. So that's what I am looking to fix up for this fall and get everything organized and really have a clear, clean, oh my God, remember we talked about having something clean and clear that I can walk into from my desk to my kitchen sink to my bed to my closet, just has me feel very empowered, and I feel much more confident. You can see my confidence building each week with the different topics, but being able to go into that closet and really have a clear understanding of how we can spackle it ourselves, understand where the stud points are, how to put those shelves up, the right type of shelves based on plaster, and is it wall, is it plaster? Like, their conversation, Josh, and I know we can go on YouTube, right, if we want to, but to have Vic and really be able to have somebody like for free, guys. I mean, for free, right? To have that conversation, that empowers me to be able to do something. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when you're able to do something yourself, if it's physically, like from my makeup and my hair to now, like, I've never done that. Like, I'm serious. I've like maybe put up a picture, like 2 little nails, and that's that. But to say I've spackled something and found the right shelves and knew where the, again, yeah, studs. Yeah. I'm excited. Like, you notice my body, like I'm excited, like that's, and again, I grew up with like, that's a guy thing, my house, my grandfather was a bricklayer. My dad learned bricklayer, and painting, and everybody came over to your house was that. Now, that's why I love Genevieve, because she does that herself, So as a woman, I want to grow into being able to help my daughter be able to be like, no, I can fix, I'm going to age myself, the VCR, my daughter knows how to fix my phone, but you know what I mean? But really physically put together like a table, you know what I mean? Like things like that. So that's what I have for myself. What about you?
Well, I can find the studs. What I need help with is measuring, because
Ooh.
if you ask me to measure for like curtain rods,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go way off. Okay. So, and I've done it before. That is not my strong point, but there are certain things that both of my dads taught me. My bio dad and my stepdad, they wanted to make sure that I learned how to do certain things, especially like changing my oil, changing a flat tire. As far as things around the house, one of the things that I'm looking to learn how to do is put up backsplash in the kitchen right by
Ooh,
the sink. I have a good friend. She does all of that stuff. She does a lot of stuff herself. Like she breaks out the saw and the electric saw, not the manual saw, not that one. And she can do quite a bit of things on her own, which I find to be absolutely tremendous. For me, I can use a snake if I need to, if there's a drain. And that's one of the things that Vic would have spoken about tonight. Hopefully he can get on. I had disappeared for a little bit just to kind of walk him through. And he said one of the complaints that he gets is clogged drains. And people don't
mm,
know how to do it unless they use Drano. And then, you let it sit for like 30 minutes. And then you flush it with the hot water for about a few minutes so that it can start to work, I guess, after you let it sit for 30 minutes. And one of the things he talked about was getting what looked to me was like a plastic snake. It's a long, it was long, and you just finagle it into the drain, because some of us have that stopper
I do.
that we can lower and raise if we want to collect water in the sink. And we finagle it so that it goes in that stopper. You push it around and then you pull out. And he has a photo of all the hair that's in the drain. And that's one way that we can be proactive so that we don't have to now call in a plumber to open up that flap that covers the cover in our sink, to then snake it. And they charge a whole lot of money to do that stuff. So with this whole topic of fixer up, it's about learning. And I know Susan said she doesn't like to, she don't know about any of that
Like
stuff.
no interest in learning any of that,
Yeah.
LOL.
And that's fine. It absolutely is. Susan is independently wealthy and can afford to pay for these things. So I absolutely love it, Susan. But there's so many people, and I won't say women, I'm going to say people, because there are some men who cannot fix anything, y'all. For example, I was dating this guy years ago. And what was so funny, it was a real role reversal, because I was putting together his bedroom set that he got from IKEA, and he was in the kitchen on the phone talking to a friend and cooking us dinner.
Ooh.
Now, isn't that a role reversal? I like being able to do certain things myself. Do I want to know how to build a house? No, but I did sign up, sis, for Habitat for Humanity to be a
Yay.
volunteer to help remodel homes.
But that's in community, right? You're not doing that alone and you're with other experts that do that. I'd love that. Hey, Rise and Thrive Together 2026. Let's build something together, right? Let's do that. That's amazing. Oh my God, Raquel, my heart just went so beautiful. And I want to just jump in for Susan because she has come back to say, on second thought, I like to feel comfortable. Listen to this. I'd like to feel comfortable using an electric drill.
Mm.
I bought a thin plastic snake and have cleaned out the tub. That's easy peasy. But Susan, I love that you like up leveled that, conversation to say she'd like to feel comfortable. So there's something there. I agree. Anything that's like, the electric saw, the drill, is not a comfortable feeling for me either, because I haven't had, like, when you're going to Habitat Humanity, I doubt they're gonna be like, Raquel, here you go. Someone's gonna be with you. So I love that, Susan. Thank you for sharing that upgrade. Diane Pratt comes in and says, hey, I built a bookcase from scratch.
Wow.
And my husband was speechless and he never missed words. Like, he's like, so she's giving herself hearts and loving that. And Ellen says, I am the fix-it person by nature. My husband is always ready to call the handy person. So role reversal right there. And I always persist to do it myself. It's challenging and rewarding and such a great feeling of satisfaction. Then I definitely earned cred points. And you know what I'm getting here, guys? Thank you. I love this. Keep on sharing, people, what you want to feel comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, but what you want to learn. Because listen, right here in community, I'm excited because I'm like, Ellen lives in my area. So I'm like, hello, Ellen. I can have Ellen come over. Genevieve can come over. Susan, has got, this conversation of learning that. So who does she know, right? My father, my former husband could do almost anything. And my brother is a talented carpenter. There goes your money, Raquel. It's not that she's rich. She's got a brother who's a talented carpenter. There's the answers to all of that. And but it's great. You can see in community. I'm really blown away, guys. Thank you so much for sharing with us how many women out there are fixers. So we brought in Vik, and I'm like, where's our female carpenters? Here we go. We got Ellen, right? We got Diane Pratt. You want to know where Diane lives? She's upstate. So give her a call. Like seriously, make some extra cash on the side. That's awesome. And Raquel, the sink with the, oh my goodness. So Josh just snaked the sink. And you don't realize how much hair is in your sink. Now my hair got longer, guys, because it's short. And so now I get it. But I was like, where did this come from? And he's just like, now Josh doesn't have a lot of hair, guys. And he's like, you don't see me snake in my sink. But he started shaving his beard, and that, started getting stuck in there. And it does cost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It costs a lot of money. So things that we can do every day, like fixing the drain pipe. Vik was going to come in and talk about fixing the drain pipe underneath the sink. Sometimes we've changed, Josh has changed, and my father-in-law has changed the whole entire bathroom. Oh my God, I can't think right now. It's the
plumbing.
Thank you. Inside the tank, right? You had a whole and it really, like, I sat there and I watched, and I was like, oh wow, this isn't as, it takes two. Now they're changing all the ventilation fans in our bathroom because they're old. And my father was like, oh, just buy them. I'll do it. And I'm like, what? Electrician? And they really weren't. When you pulled it out, the wires were there. It's just a clip, snap. And you needed two people to really make it true. And it was like done easy peasy, like Susan said. It's amazing, but that would have cost a lot of money. So instead we just bought on Amazon, $35 little fixtures. And for 3 of them for $120 something, they're up and in. Versus $120 something and what, $500 more for the person to put it in at least, right?
So here's the thing for me. Here's one thing I do not want to touch. I do not want to touch or deal with electricity.
Yeah.
At all, any way, shape, form, or fashion. I am one that I would rather just call someone in and watch them. Like, can I change a light bulb? Absolutely. That kind of thing. Can I install a ceiling fan? I probably could. Would I want to? Probably not. Because I know me. I'm one of those people, I like to touch things. I'm very tactile. So I go around, I go into like a toy store, and I got to touch all the toys, and they all have to make the noise at the same time. And when one stops, I run back and touch it. I'm that person. So I'm that annoying person. If y'all ever heard it in a toy store, it's me. It's all right. But I get some satisfaction in doing certain things myself. I get to stand back and just watch it. And that's exactly what I do. I stand back and just like, wow, I did that. My mom can paint. My dad taught my mom how to paint, because my dad by trade, he was a painter. And he taught her how to paint. So she painted her living room. She even trimmed the windows a different color. She painted her dining room, her kitchen, the fence outside. My mom can get busy with a brush, y'all. She can get busy with a brush now. But that's something that she enjoys doing. She gets to pick out whatever brown color she wants, because it's always in the family of brown. She's probably watching, but don't say anything. But it's so awesome. I see we've got somebody sharing.
Yeah, Ellen, so now we're getting into the hacks, guys. We're getting into like the quick little strategies and tips and like things to do really well. So thank you, Ellen, for jumping in. If anybody else has them, throw them in there. Ellen goes, get a plunger from the Dollar Tree for the sink and shower drains. You'll be amazed how much hair and that little yuck that comes up. That little teeny plunger from the Dollar Tree gets into her shower drains, gets into her stuff, and just plunge it up that way. So another
thing
way.
with the plunger is you've got to take that cap off, because some people don't have that open drain. They have the drain where you have that lever to
that's what
close
I have.
it.
Yeah.
You know, so just be mindful of what kind of drainage you have or covering in your sink. But yeah, if you can use a plunger, I say go for the plunger. Just, you know, be mindful of what's going to splash back on you.
Yes.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love this. What a great group of people tonight. Sharon, please drop in. What is one area that you would like to fix up this fall? Like I said, right? Raquel asked what that was. I said that little bit. And what do you want to learn? Like that for yourself. So Susan's like, you know, sharing that the thing is maybe to get more comfortable with an electric drill that just fixes her own whatever that is inside of her to be comfortable and bring that next level of confidence or whatever word that is for her. You know, for me, it's really getting that closet done. And I would be honest that before the show and before Raquel and I chose, you know, this is real talk, before we chose this topic, and like literally as things are shifting on the fly right in front of you guys, because Vik can't come on, it's through this conversation that I'm like, okay, I can learn this. I can look things up. I can have a conversation, you know, with someone. Oh my goodness, who can I have a conversation with? Vik. Look at that. I say Vik. I say I need to have a conversation. I'm adding him right in. Here we go. Vik.
Hey, you made it.
Hi.
Go Vik. Go Vik. I got to tell you, I'm going to make a big request for you to watch the replay all the way for the first 26 minutes before you jumped on, because you are going to be blown away by the people in our community that know how to do things.
Great.
He's like, great. I was like, it was great. Because we just asked them what's one area that they'd like to learn, right? You know, fix up for the fall. Okay. And I was just saying that until Raquel really had you on, I was like, you know, for me, I want to learn like to understand studs in a wall, because in my closet the whole shelving fell down. I know it wasn't put up right when we got it, so I want to understand how to spackle the right way, how to understand that stud thing, and what's the right shelving to do.
So you know, the first question, Vik, would be, how do people find studs in their wall if they want to hang like the metal shelves?
Okay, there's a stud finder that you can buy from a local hardware.
Stud finder, that sounds sexy.
Right. You know, I've been doing it such a long time. I still use the knocking method. You know.
No, tell me the knocking method. Talk to me.
Well, when you knock across the wall, where the stud is, you'll have a higher pitched sound. Oh. So between the studs, it'll hollow out and it's a deeper sound. But when you actually get to the stud itself, it's a higher pitched knock.
Like what? You know? What does it sound like? Can you make the noise?
I don't know if I can, but it'll go. Okay, so let's see. With the stud not there, lead up boom, 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 boom. But when you're hitting the stud, it'll be dun, dun, dun. It'll be a higher sound because now you're hitting the stud.
So it goes from alto to soprano, basically.
Oh, now you're talking music. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but this is great because, you know, now you just brought me back to the day of like with my dad. We were talking about my grandfather was did bricklayer, but he knew how to do other things. And I remember that. I literally remember that, but I never really understood that. And the fact that there is literally a stud finder, like, okay, I can go to Home Depot. I can go and borrow one.
I learned from guys like that. My folks owned a building. They owned a 4-family. And so my grandmother, she would make me help these guys, you know, and learn from them. So I learned from the guys back in the day, you know, the plumbers, the masons, the painters, the electricians, you know, because we had a 4-family. And eventually I learned that, you know, and all of those type of tricks I learned from guys like your grandfather.
I love that. Growing up and knowing that I feel like is missing in today's society. So I'm going to just speak like to have the grandma, right? Like the maternal, the matriarch of the family being able to be like, hey, because that's what my grandmother did, you know, his mother did for my dad. It was like, no, you're going out there and you're learning this stuff. Like anybody who would come to the house or wherever they were, he learned those things. And I feel like that's missing in today's society. That's why I think
It
it's really
is.
important to have you on. I have a 9-year-old daughter. My husband does do some stuff around the house and he wants to grow more into learning this. So he was excited to watch the replay. And I want my daughter to have that confidence, right? You know, to be able to not go call somebody, spend a lot of money, and be able to have pride with some of the other guests that we're talking about what they've done themselves, from snaking drains to building their own, you know, tables. And a
Yeah.
lot of these women, their husbands weren't doing that. They're doing it. And the husbands had the
Right.
role reversal like Raquel was talking about.
Right, right. I work with a lot of homeowners, and you know, especially during COVID, a lot of folks took you know, projects, doing a lot of teaching, or was overwhelmed with it. As a matter of fact, like you say, there were mostly women. I'm going to mention her name, not her last name, but I have a customer, Renee. She's taken on beautiful projects. She owns a home, and she does everything herself. When she gets stuck, that's when she.
We lost you, Vic.
But,
Oh,
she's done her own things like electric fixture.
Uh-oh.
But there you go. We keep on
lost you.
going. We keep on going. Wait, he's coming back.
He's back again.
Hang out. But we'll just give it a second so we can get in there. Literally took a client who now is, what would they call, an apprentice almost. And now she's doing her own electrical and doing amazing projects. Let's see what else he has to say. Are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Yeah,
All right.
we work with a lot of people, and I try to help a lot of homeowners, you know, because spending money is important. Took it, you know, as a kid, you know, my parents struggled. You know, they owned a building, and you know, they had to deal with a couple of shady characters. So I take this to heart, with especially with new homeowners. So I've been doing it for a couple of years before, you know, we actually filed the business.
Diane is so funny. You read it, sis.
Yeah, so one of our longtime, you know, good friends of ours and, you know, Rise and Thriver says, my husband was brilliant. He could repair everything with his credit card. And that's what Vic needs, Diane. God rest your husband's soul. But, you know, we miss him and he's with us always. But there's always my favorite, you know, there's always your favorite client, right, Vic? I have a crazy different question, you know, which is interesting because my husband's the president of the HOA here. And it is interesting when it comes to contractors and construction. And in Florida, and anybody else jump in, people need work to be done. People like Diane's like husband who's willing to pay. And what is the deal? And I know you can't speak on behalf of everyone, right? But you're in the field. Like you're a man with integrity. That's where you're on. But why? Why are like people like, there's everybody looking for work, you know, rough times right now, but people are willing to pay and they make it happen. And then like the contractors don't follow through.
Yeah, it's you know, I would tell folks when they get involved with the contractor, and contractors, we have the same issue with some homeowners. That's why contracts are important. And you can have a contract, a written contract, or even if you have a text message on an agreement on what's going to be done. The field is funny. There are a lot of people out there who claim that they can do things. And I would tell homeowners to always protect themselves and ask a lot of questions. I like to answer the questions and I like to put someone at ease. And if you have a contractor who's not going to take the time, it's not that they're always shady or not a great contractor. It's just sometimes contractors have so much on their plate as far as, you know, pushing a job, dealing with employees, you know, and meeting a deadline. So it's a mixture of things. But the field it can be funny because it's a very easy field to get into, but a lot of the skill set isn't there, and that's what keeps some of us busy. Like I don't give out cards or anything. I just get calls. Raquel knows. It's just I'm going on 10 years now because I took another chance, and all of my jobs have been referrals. So when you have somebody who takes their time, and I'm a personal carpenter, so a lot of my clients I've been working for, for 13 years before I even, filed this business. So just ask a lot of questions and make sure you get something in writing when you're dealing with a contractor.
So Vic, along the lines of questions, can you give us like 2 of the top questions that we should ask outside of how much is this going to cost?
Well, you want to know what type of, I like to tell folks to,
I was like, he likes to tell folks to.
He's do that on purpose. He's making us wait.
And we were at the edge of our seats here with that one.
Or go to where you.
We're losing you, Vic.
Again?
Yes, you said
on my computer.
Yeah, you're on your end. You must have a connection that's a little low.
So you were giving us one of the questions.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the questions is you want to know what it's going to look like. When I tell folks, like I have a lot of folks that go to Pinterest, or they get anything from a site, and you can tell the contractor, you can ask the contractor, can it look like this in this setting? Do I have to space? Because a lot of people visually they don't understand that a room is not the same size as what you're seeing on television. So people, like for instance, say, I want a countertop, I want this, but you don't have to for it. So that's one of the questions you should ask, a contractor. How's it going to look, and is it going to fit?
Wow. Okay. Those are good questions.
That's an awesome question. Anything else? A second question, because I have a couple of insights and I'm curious as a contractor what you would think, but what would be your second question?
Well, he did say, how's it going to look, and is it going to fit?
And how's it going to fit?
Fit? Oh, got it. Okay.
Right.
So I know that a lot of people
because he said other than cost. So cost is usually like one of the first things. Yeah.
Right.
I know people are big into making sure that they have a license, because people you've got to your business and have your license there, because listen, if you're not going to get somebody who's licensed with in that area, then you're going to get what you're going to get. Like I say to the kids, you get what you get, and you don't get upset if they don't have that license number. I'm curious about finance. Oh, he got kicked out again, but hopefully he's going to come back in.
And whether they allow financing?
No. So here in Florida, and Ellen is, when writing on here, it happens a lot here in Florida. So you'll get someone, here he comes. We'll get Vic back in again. Thanks, Vic.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for this. I don't know. It's
all
still,
good. This is life, right?
It's okay.
We're perfect. So one of the questions that happens, thank you, Ellen. So we were talking about licensed and insured. She's like my extra mouthpiece because I cannot get my brain connected to my mouth coming out at the same time. But also with regards to, so now we have an agreement of money, right? Hey, it's going to cost whatever, $2,000 it's going to be done. And we get half the down payment that's there. And then they don't come back, right? Or they finish up the job and they're like, no, we get paid all at once. Like, what is your rule of thumb about if we would hire you, about payment, and how do you think would be the best that works out there for everybody? See?
I would never so with me, with my contracts, for a smaller job, if I'm doing a floor job, 50% down and 50% when I finish. But like on a kitchen or bathroom, I take 50% down because I have to material, I have to pay people, and then completion, I take 40%, and the last 10%, I take on our walkthrough. So anything that you see, we square away then, and I get my last 10% on our final walkthrough. I like to do it that way because it protects both of us,
I love
the contractor, and customer.
Love that. So 50% down.
I'm going to say also, like, when I started, I wasn't licensed. I wasn't insured. I actually worked and I did this on the side. And that's how I got to know a lot of people, so when you build up a reputation and you can prove it, like if, I've done a lot of work for family, and then they had friends go, it's a big and grows that way, reputation of a person. Also, it's not always a licensed person, because there are some licensed people out here. There are some licensed people out here that
shady,
and they can be shady. Yeah, they can be shady. So always go with the referrals. Like I say, I hardly give out. I have a stack of cards that I found that we don't give out. Let's see. Here's the stack. I got it years ago when I started. All the cards are still in here. And this section here,
love it.
Yeah, this section here I gave to my brother and my cousin, for them to have. But, we don't give it out because we've been doing it way before we got started. So, if I gave them out now, I would not be able to handle the work. It's hard enough.
Vik is a busy guy. Trust me.
Yeah, no, but I love that. Yeah. It's really that, thank you for, really sharing the full, straight up talk about, it's not always about the license, right? Because we say licensed and insured.
Right.
But it's very true. Really, personal referrals, recommendations by the quality of work that you have proven, right? With that person. It's not like people recommend you show up, you do it. And then from that, you became so well known, your confidence was built, your work is there. Then it becomes like the last is like the icing on the cake. Oh, well, here's my license. Here's my insurance now. Right. Yeah. So that's really because I don't want anybody to see this and say, hey, right. It's either way. Licensed, insured doesn't mean you're great. We all know that as therapists, whatever you may be. I really love that because that's how I see the young people. Raquel, you being with, the AXO kids, it's that beginning of showing up, doing the work, proving who they are, getting those mentors and getting those, recommendations. Then the rest becomes the next step. I love it.
Awesome. So Vik, in the time that we have left, what is one gem that you can leave our audience with as someone who's a carpenter? What's one gem that you want our audience to walk away from this show with?
Folks, not to rush to work unless it's, have the job planned out in your mind as to what you want. Try to find ways to express what you want, like we mentioned before, having
Cheers.
He'll get there.
Or taking a friend's job.
So make sure he comes back quickly.
I think what it is, he's going around and then getting kicked out and coming back in. So it's never like getting out. All right.
Yeah.
One more time.
So whether it's a kitchen, bathroom, or living space, if you had a friend who had some work done and you're looking for a contractor, you can take pictures. And as you talk to contractors, you give them an idea of what you want. I'm going to tell folks also, especially now, because in a couple of years I'll be retiring, I would tell people, do not take shortcuts. Shortcuts
Mm.
are deadly, because what I tell folks when they tell me to just do it that way, if it goes wrong, not going to remember that you asked for a shortcut. You're just going to remember that you asked the contractor to do the job. So I don't take any shortcuts at all. And some folks, they have to make a living. They'll take a shortcut. I don't take any at all. So have in your mind, shortcuts, is short term.
Wow.
No short term fixes. Yeah, no short term fixes.
Did y'all
Bomb
hear
drop on
that?
that one.
Shortcuts equals short term. That means your joint gonna fall down. It's gonna drop a hole. It's gonna do all of that.
It'll leak. A
Yes.
lot of things happen with shortcuts. Yeah.
That's right.
Wow. Shortcuts equals short
Short
terms.
term.
And one more thing that I want to add about Vic that is important for me as a customer is he cleans up after himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He is not going to leave you with all of that mess and dust, and dude does not do that. And for me, that means a lot. That someone is going to come, not only fix and get paid for fixing or creating, but they clean up and they take their garbage with them.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I like. And I didn't know it was important to me until working with Vic. So Vic, if folks are now, Vic is in South Jersey. If any of you know anyone that's in South Jersey, or you yourself are there and you're looking for a carpenter, I always say he's a contractor.
I'm a contractor. Vic, you have to follow HIC, but I've always been a carpenter.
Vic, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way that they can reach out to you?
Okay, probably the email I've been using more. I've kept my cell phone. I'm originally from New York, but all the folks out here have kept their old cell phone numbers.
Not
so
me.
My cell phone number is. Should I say it on the?
Or you want to
do you? What you can do? Email, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So email or cell phone, if you want to post it, that's fine also.
Okay. What's the email?
Let's go.
Okay, it's Louis Carpentry. Did I freeze, or is it no? That's just on my side. Yeah, Louis Carpentry Inc. @gmail.com.
All right. So just to make sure, because
Yeah, I should have written it out.
Sierra,
okay.
Carpentry, PENTRY, Carpentry, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Wait, tell me if this is right, Vic.
Look at the screen. Can you see?
Is that wrong? I feel like it's wrong.
No.
I did it right?
Yep, that's right.
Woo! That's having a third grader as a daughter.
Oh, now that you said third grade, ladies and gentlemen, my neglect, I will post this in our Rise and Thrive Together community. I do want to say one thing while it's here and fresh in my mind. We've had Dr. Shanique Carmichael on this show several times. She is a friend to the show. We went on the mission trip with her last year to the Bahamas. They have now been elevated. They've started a computer lab in the school in the Bahamas, in Exuma, Bahamas. They've been tasked recently with tutoring kids who are in 7th to 10th grade. However, they have their reading math level is lower than the grade they're in, and they're in need of tutors in reading, math, and science. So if any of you are really good and feel confident enough to teach students in the Bahamas, and you do it via Zoom, kind of like this, right? It's a group setting until they can set you up on one-on-one. Please reach out to Rise and Thrive Together. Send us an email and we will connect you with Shanique. If you have any kids, any young people that are interested in doing it and they're good in it, I have a lot of interest in stuff. I mean, I'm good at it. They have to be good because these kids have to take their exam, some of them next year, their major exam. next year. And so we are in the process of prepping them. I am a tutor, definitely not in math. My math don't be mathing all the time. Clearly, I don't speak English too good. So I am tutoring in the area of reading and learning how to take your time. I also have 2 of our AXO students who are phenomenal in math. One of them is competing in this area of STEM, and he's primarily focusing on the mathematics. And both of them are going to tutor the kids in mathematics. So again, if you are able to tutor kids in reading, math, or science, or you know someone who would be interested in doing it via Zoom or Teams, please send us an email at info@riseandthrive.together, and we will definitely connect you with Dr. Carmichael and her organization, Leah's Hopes and Dreams. Thank you for that. I meant to say it last week and totally forgot. Vik, we appreciate you so much for not giving up.
Yes.
And being persistent to get on the show and share your information and your knowledge with our audience. Thank you so much. It truly means a lot that you just didn't give up.
Oh, thank you. I almost did.
That just shows the type. Oh my God, I don't even know how to write. That just shows the type of man that you are. If you don't give up for a show like this, I know the type, just the integrity that you have of how you'll be with your customers and give them that extraordinary work that they want. You know, like that's what we're looking for. So,
well, like I say, thank you so much. And Raquel knows because I also met Raquel through a referral, and that's all it's been. So it's worked out great. You know, it doesn't happen quick, but doing the right thing pays off in the end.
Absolutely.
It does.
It always does. We thank you all for joining and conversing with us on our fears about doing home repairs, and the fact that you guys can do anything with a credit card, building your own bookshelf. We have had such a great time with all of this conversation so far this month. So I want to thank you, Vik, again so much. Thank you, Ellen, Susan, Diane. Thank you all for your contributions in this conversation. Our goal for having this Fixer Up is to help you fix up what needs to be, because you've decluttered and now it's time to fix up. And we are going to wrap up this show next week with just an amazing, amazing Monday, because it's also
Raquel's birthday. Raquel's
next
birthday.
Monday. But I will be here. We will be here with all of you. So Vik, thank you so much again. And to our listening audience, we always appreciate and thank you so much for your support with us. And we always want you to remember that together we can rise and thrive. Until next time.